everyone. I've done a bad job of keeping track of these episode numbers. Is this 7? I think it's the 7.
Shit, dude.
Right.
I don't. Hang on. I can check.
I think it's 7 because Star was 5, and then we did one that was just us for 6.
Yeah, all right. I think we're on episode 7.
Yeah.
So number 7.
Yeah, and it is
Lucky
pretty
number
lucky
7.
because we have a guest episode, and Lance is here too.
Yay!
For possibly the first time ever.
No, second time.
Yeah, we had Luke. Lance
Right, with Luke. Yep, my favorite episode, actually.
Fought my way past security and made it here. Thanks, Lance, for Lance.
Thank Lance for Lance. Okay, so we should stop beating around the bush. Our guest this time around is Halli. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm really bad at these. It's like the worst loaded question. What do you want me to say?
Just like a bit about yourself, how long you've been DMing for, and what you do in the RPG scene, I guess works.
No, just say your name over and over like a Pokemon.
And maybe your social security number and bank account.
My mother's maiden name, my favorite color, my first pet, my high school
what street you lived on, and your first car.
Exactly. Oh, first car I don't even remember.
And the back 3 numbers of your credit.
Yeah, exactly. They have the CCV. Yes. So beyond all of that, I'm Halli. I am the DM, primarily the DM for the Small Terrible and a Dragonborn party, which is rapidly coming to a close on its campaign, but I also run a Curse of Strahd campaign, and I know B through the charity streams that we do over on our Twitch channel. So that's how we met.
Yes.
And then I drug you into my madness. And I know you're so happy about that. And so primarily in the TT RPG and kind of RPG space, I run the group. I do all of the social media handling, but ever since, I would say, when was that? October 2018, on and off, we've been doing charity events. So I'm also the charity and stream organizer for those. So I do everything from making the player rosters and getting people to come and play with us, to making the art and then organizing schedules and just making awareness happen for all of that.
Okay, so what we can confirm is that you are a vampire because you obviously don't need to sleep.
You can't sleep with all that going on.
That's called a type A personality. That's what that is. And I work, full-time job, so it's fine. I'm fine. I promise. No, I love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. And that's kind of the whole point.
No, that's fair.
It's a labor.
Still, you have a very bizarre definition of fine.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you on that.
We all.
So this one wasn't on any of the questions here.
Uh-oh.
But I think it's a cool question to ask. Is like, what would you say is the biggest difference between like the podcast style and streaming? Like, what's the beast? Because us three, our world is like the edited podcasting and such. So like, what would you say is the unique beasts you have to deal with in the streaming world?
Oh, that is a good question. And I've talked to a couple of folks about that. One is real obvious. It's that because there's a literal face value to it. You are on stream, you're live. So I have to harangue people to be on time. Because my on time is 15 minutes early compared to everyone else because I have to show up early to set things up. So some of it's a time management issue. Whereas right now you are just like, yeah, we're cool. We're here. And then you hit record and you can edit out as much dead air as you want. Dead air on a stream is bad. So you have to take those metrics into account and just kind of adjust for it. So you'll see me do this. And I think you'll see most streamers do this where if the players are going, and I'll go, okay. And now this explodes in your face because we just need something to happen. usually do that, but it's a good example of, okay, if you're playing in your house or you're playing on a podcast, again, where you can cut dead air out, or if you're just at your table and it doesn't matter, on a stream, it's moving entertainment that has faces attached to it. So I have to be very conscious of my expressions because I have a terrible poker face. So when they do something that I'm like, well, you just shit the bed on that, didn't you? But I can't show it. That's probably the biggest, at least for me, that's the biggest thing. Is just knowing that we do have cameras attached to the stream and people are watching your faces maybe more closely than they are listening to you.
That's terrifying.
I was going to say, now that I put it that way, that's fucking intimidating.
I will hide behind my computer screen with the camera off. Thank you.
Well, that was a very forward answer. Awesome.
I have no filter when it comes to some of this stuff.
That's fair. Okay.
Good.
So onto the actual listener submitted questions. This one from the Silver Dusk. When you play a knight, what is your main character style? Like a nice character, a chaos gremlin, or other? Like when you, the DM, get the chance to sit down and play, are you going to get invested in the world the way you'd want your players to, or are you going to chaos around because this is your moment to do that?
Oh, see, we have a different definition of chaos. Oh, gosh. I would say now, with several years of DMing under my belt compared to early in the game, so to speak, now I like to take a little bit more of a measured approach. I'm also much more highly suspicious. So I'm like, I know that trick. I know. Oh, and then when someone can turn it around on me, I go, oh, well done. Well done. Golf clap. Well done. But
two fingers.
Yes, exactly. Character-wise, I like to try out different things because I could see myself getting stuck in the charismatic little ball of chaos like my gnome sorcerer Eggs can be, who is part chaos, part caution, which is a strange brew.
Yeah, that's an odd fusion.
You're like, well, I really don't like you, and I think that you're going to shoot me, so I'm going to shoot you in the leg, and then if I'm wrong, I'm going to apologize, and I'll fix it, and then we need to run away, like, real fast.
That's a phenomenal character voice, by the way.
Thank you.
I love
That was
that
great.
so much.
She's 674 years old. She's not fucking around at this point. But out the gate, the character that I've played for the longest next to her was a bard. And, everyone has to like, oh, the bard's gonna, I don't know, seduce the dragon or whatever ridiculous stereotype there is. And if that's the kind of bard you like to play, that's totally cool. But I like subverting stereotypes. So Shay was a bookish little, very College of Lore by that standpoint, and that subclass. And it was only after something really kind of horrible happened to her that she was like, I think I'm going to go to the dark side now, and turned a little spooky. So too much knowledge is indeed power, kids. Let that be known. So it all depends on the group. Eggs is on the DM's test kitchen over with Nate in that gang, and on the chef's night specifically. And it's all DMs. So making sure that we're all good about like not stepping on each other, which is fantastic. And at the same time, I was like, well, I guess if this is the moment to throw Eggs in anywhere, I apologize ahead of time. Yeah. I am so sorry.
That's fair. I think that's kind of the answer I'd echo is just I go with the group. I like playing different kinds of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I also like know the difference between a one shot and a campaign. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's a very good point. Yep.
Yeah, there's a difference between me playing Jatai in like an actual proper campaign and me playing Jerry in a one shot.
Right. And
there's a difference between You know, dashing rogue with tragic backstory and fix this.
Oh my god! All I got from that first one was Kajita Vuershi of gold. That's all I got. From
okay. Thank you for okay. I hate it, but also thank you for calling me out on that because I basically just did the Khajiit accent for him.
No, but I love it. I love it though.
Jetai has wares if you have coin.
Oh yes, so good.
This one needs something.
Oh my god, that's frighteningly close. Holy crap! I love it. That's so good.
And
May our roads lead you to warm sands.
I was gonna say, Lance, I think you've got a special case because you have like 100 characters.
Oh boy, and do I? I
Yeah,
actually have 109 plus characters on D&D Beyond, and I've used like 2 of them, but they are all my babies, and they all have backstories. And whether they are used for a one-shot or an actual campaign, they all have different personalities. And like
they're all waiting in the wings.
They are. They're all just kind of standing there with their ticket number, just waiting for that day that I call their number.
The world's worst BMV line.
Exactly. And most of them won't get, like, I'll look back and I'll just be like, who the fudge are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, I love you. Oh,
a minute ago, I didn't even know your name. Yeah, that's.
But now I love you.
Me looking through my old friends list.
Oh, there's some brutal
I
reality.
I think I usually go into things with like having a character's definite stance and personality and how they would act, and that definitely changes with what kind of party you have. And I think that's just like in real life, you know, you may have a set way that you act, but once you get in a group of people, it could change. So it kind of roll with the flow. Yeah. I try to be a little chaotic sometimes. Like my gunslinger Drow, he was very grounded and straightforward, but there was forest fire and everybody was sleeping, so he just fired off gunshots into the night to wake everybody up. I mean, it worked.
That's one way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Got everyone up, and he didn't have to go around the camp. He doesn't like people, so, I mean, didn't waste his time, didn't waste theirs. It all worked out.
I guess so.
And they got the fire out, so, I mean, win-win.
Good. I think we
next question.
Yeah, I think we got this one. Wait, no, I checked the wrong chat. I think that's the first time that's happened. Here we go. Since I guess this is both at me and Halli, but I guess this can apply. With me and Halli's campaigns coming to an end soon, what are your favorite moments? Things that you're really proud of, and how do you cope with a campaign ending?
Oh my god. I think I need a therapist session for this one. I
was gonna say a lot of alcohol, maybe some weed. A therapist.
Both, all three. Well, you know, you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Yes, because it is kind of happening at roughly the same time.
Yep.
So the can never say it. 2.5 years, and I still can't say it with a straight face. So the STDs have been around since August 26, 2017. Yep, you're welcome.
I'd say they've been around a lot longer than that, honestly.
Not this particular strain. It's never been studied before, and nor will it pass this. My players are assholes. I love them.
That just fits with the theme.
I know, right? The entendre gets way past double and gets into like 100. Yeah.
Quadruple at least.
It's way past that. Yep. Because there's another chat happening right now between several of my players, and they're talking about being in a library, and it goes bad from there.
Oh no.
that we can get into later if you want to hear that story. I need an adult. Yeah, that's here I am. So yeah, we've been around for about 2.5 years, and this campaign actually started with the idea was it was just supposed to be a 2 or 3, maybe 4 game adventure. I had never run anything past a one shot and was terrified. We were all strangers. And now we're ending. May 9th is our last game.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's scary to have the date like in your head.
Yeah.
We've been planning for a while. So next week's game on March 28th during the charity stream is game 55. The Saturday after that is game 56. That's the last like in-game big old BBG showdown. And then we have 2 wrap-ups, because something I've discovered with these folks, and I'm sure you all have probably too, with one group or another, is that these folks really, really enjoy RPing, and they've been playing these characters for so long that there are dimensions to the inner relationships between their characters that at this point, I just like to sit back and let them go. And I want those last couple of sessions to do that, if that's what they wanted, and they're all in for it, which I'm glad they are, to just be like, okay, so let's say everyone's live after the whatever it is that happens in that very last game, because I will guarantee you they really dramatically upend my expectations like they tend to. And they do something that takes me by surprise, and then let's say they all walk off into the sunset. What does that mean for them?
Yeah, you want an epilogue.
Hell yeah. Having been with these folks for this long and gotten to know these characters so well, there's no way I would just be like, and the end.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I remember B telling me that with a campaign that he was doing with some of our friends, they actually thought about doing a past level 20 campaign, like as a follow, like a sequel campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to see what their lives are like a year after. In this game, I was a player. It was great. I love Joe very much. Hi, Lauren and Nick, if you're listening. Thank you. You guys are great. But I got to play a tiefling blood hunter who didn't die.
Oh, don't. Too soon.
It's always too soon.
It's always too soon. Let's not talk about that.
I don't know what you're referencing.
I need more alcohol.
R.I.P. Well, we made it to level 20. We defeated Orcus.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was our final boss. And then after the game was over, we were like, so like, what would a level 21 character look like? And we just kind of said it would just be, you'd have to take another class and start at level 1 of that ability, you know?
That's a good idea. I like that.
So my blood hunter became a blood hunter druid, and he's going to go into the circle of spores.
Oh yes, I love the circle of spores druids.
So he's going like full on necrotic and like kind of keeping in vein with the spooky, because one of his best friends was a necromancer, but as a blood hunter, he can't really like dip into necromancy the same way. So spore druid was kind of his compromise there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm telling the blood. I'm not going to try to get off on a tangent, but we have a Lycan blood hunter in our group.
Ooh.
And Hazel is fucking terrifying. The amount of damage she can do, I'm just like,
oh yeah. Tiny tangent of my own. Jove the blood hunter. There were 2 other characters in this. Lauren's character, who was a bard named Mayomi, and our friend Evelyn, who goes by Bob's character, whose name was Persephone. Persephone was a draconic sorceress, and Mayomi was a bard. And we became known in the party as Team Doesn't Get Hit, because we took on like 4 giants and killed them all without getting hit.
holy fuck.
And that was just because high damage output from a blood hunter plus AoE from a sorcerer plus bard keeping you up is a very
D&D
effective
5e.
combo. Yeah.
D&D 5e speedrun hitless.
Oh my god, yeah, that's like that you broke it. That's it. You broke it right there. You found the flaw. That's
Yep. It was a fun
which there are many, but yeah, no, I love.
So my
that.
character grabs a wooden plate and holds it in front of their face and walks towards the left wall and clips through to the final boss.
How did it?
Can I roll a glitch check?
Oh my god!
It was great.
That's
but
good.
Yeah, but
Calling out Bethesda for that one.
Damn you, Todd Howard! Yeah.
Where did we even get?
Fucking rod powered. Sod flowered.
Where did we? What was the question again?
Ending campaigns, memorable moments.
That's right. We were making jokes to cover the pain.
We were way off the we were way off the yellow brick road there. And alcohol.
That's what I do all the time.
Same. Yeah, that's no, for me, like, so I actually wound up writing the adventure up. I had to strip because our group started as a Tal'Dorei Day group. Which was why it was going to be a short adventure, and
short air quotes,
short. Oh, just hundreds of hours later. Just so much. I don't even want to know the word content or the word count in my OneNote anymore. Early on, I would say early on, I think they were 7th level. They were doing a job for the kind of the boss of like the black market in one of these small villages in Tal'Dorei, and she basically said, "Yes, I can give you the access that you need to this particular sewer." On and on, because they were trying to be sneaky. They don't do that anymore. It's the only time that ever happened. But we need in here, okay?
What is it with sewers and failed attempts at being sneaky? Hi, Lance.
Hey, we need to. Okay, let's let Halli continue her story and not talk about my characters going through the sewer and failing epically. Okay.
But it's so much fun, though.
It's hilarious, especially when you get to make them fall in the sewage. That's like that little bit of like, yeah, you could have done that. You shouldn't have. And so here's what happens. You go in
you have poo on you.
Yeah. Now you're covered in poo.
I don't know why it's funny. It is. It just is. No, and so she was like, listen, one of my traders fell off the face of the planet. Here's where he was last place. Here's this little village. Go there, go find him. Bring him back, dead, alive. I don't care. Just, he owes me money. Bring the money back. Bring me his head and the money. I don't give a shit. She got other things to do than worry about this one guy. So they went after him. Whole village is on lockdown. And they can't figure out why. So they get stopped at the gates. And the guards, quote unquote, which is really just 2 people who have a little bit of militia training, who were like maybe, Army Reserve or something, and didn't they got stuck in this tiny town and don't really know their ass from a crossbow. Said, yeah, we've had 3 people murdered here over the last 2 weeks. We're not letting anyone in or out while we figure out what's going on. And they were like, murder? What? Let's go. This eventually became known as the Scooby-Doo episodes. They turned into the Mystery Machine group and went around this little village, and it got pretty gruesome. There was an abandoned manor on the hill that they eventually made their way into. The manor had gotten caught on fire, and I think they've done a lot of stuff where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But those like 3 or 4 games were so memorable. Just with, I think that was the first time where I really saw, there was just that moment where it clicked and the group just smacked together. And they'd been really good about it, but it's like they didn't even have to make any effort anymore. Something clicked in the group cohesion, something clicked between me and the players. And I eventually wrote it up. And it's actually on Drive-Thru RPG. It's pay what you want right now if you want it. It's called The Necromancer's Regret. And it's actually a really sad story about a young woman who desperately wanted out of her abusive household and accidentally got her older brother killed out of her desperation. So that's what it's real happy if you can't tell. It's real peppy. But that story stuck and I had to write it. So I would say out of everything that they've done, other than the wizard falling down a mine, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. She felt she was charmed to go down the mine. And then she went down the mine. And they were like, why is little Elijah, who's smart and is the voice of caution in the party? And she's just like, do, blah, poof, down the mine. She fell like 50 feet. It almost killed her.
F and rest.
A gnome wizard? Yeah. There's not a lot of hit points there. Anyways. I'll stop now.
Well, that was a very good answer. I think we're good to move on though to our next question. Okay. So this is more of an addenda to a previous question, if that makes sense. Last episode we were talking about like creating creatures in your world and making them different and stuff. And like how would your party react? The Silver Dusk addendas here that they're talking about balancing a monster that isn't too powerful or too weak, but has a cool twist. So like how do you make a creature that has a unique twist or ability, but it's not like on the evil level of everyone's just gonna die?
Oh, yeah, I do this a lot actually. The rebel in me doesn't like running a lot of monsters as written because I have two very experienced players who are also very good about not metagaming, but I like to throw them off. And doing that a few times just showed me how fun it can be to run something that is just slightly sideways of expectations. So probably a more recent example of that, and I actually got it from a third-party supplement that was Kickstarted, which of course I can't remember the title of right now. I'll give it to you later, B, if you want it. But it was basically taking it was like they had to fight a dragon guardian. Well, yeah, okay, dragon, right? This is a 14th level party at the time who is OP on purpose by design. I can legitimately say that and not be bullshitting. And for intentions unknown yet. And I can't evil cackle. It's as close as you get. And then I can't do that. Damn it.
I hate that my evil laugh was ruined by the phone.
Oh, you have
Take
to record
two.
it and put it in. Oh, wait.
This episode is us just giving Spy silence so that way he can get some stuff that we can use as little sound bits later.
He's working on some things. Yeah. Yep. That's some Bela Lugosi shit right there, man. So they were dealing with this guardian, and I was like, okay, well, I can throw a dragon at him, or I can throw a dragon at them. A dragon that can do things that no other dragon can do. So I took what was in this third-party supplement, and I did even more twisting on it. It was a celestial dragon, basically.
Nice!
Yeah, but could teleport, could call down big pillars of energy, had a breath weapon, but didn't actually like using it. And would rather just like try to smack them off the, Rainbow Road style thing they were fighting on. and see what would happen type of it. He was testing them. It was a challenge. It was meant to knock them down, not kill them. And I felt like that fight in particular was rewarding, at least from my end, because they were up against something they'd never seen before. They knew it was a guardian, and they knew they needed to pass, quote unquote, the test, but they didn't know what the test was, whether it's, do we kill it? Do we let it kill us? Like, what's happening here? You know, is there some secret code word we need? What's going on? And
you have to get knocked out and say Rosebud as your last word.
Oh, damn. Ooh, that's a different campaign. We might be the STDs, but we're not that kind of campaign, okay? I know. It hurt me to do that. Just know that I took psychic damage on that. I would like you to know. But so yeah, I've run all kinds of variants on things, and the trick to quote unquote balancing it, and I will say this now because even if my players listen to this, we're 2 games from the end. What are they going to do about it? I start with a set bank of hit points, but a lot of the times my creatures have an auto regenerate feature where if they don't take a certain amount of damage in a round, they're going to regenerate half of what they took in the previous round because they hit hard. This group in particular hits hard, and several of them have pretty high the cleric's AC is 23. So that just means my dragon hits with a plus 16. Which means I'm hitting him almost every time. So part of it, I don't think, and I could be wrong, so I'm not going to put like a qualitative on this, but for a one shot, you're not going to be able to balance these types of creatures over the course of a campaign. I've had the chance to I know what every single one of these characters can do. I know how these people play. I know tactically likely what they're going to do, although often they like to, fuck with me. And then it's just a matter of balancing and hoping that I made something that's interesting. And if it fails, it's also a chance to learn.
That's a good way to put it. Lance, Spy, any ideas on unique twists for monsters or any examples of unique twists for monsters?
I definitely agree with Halli on doing the, it's hard to balance it sometimes, but like you said, when you play with somebody for a year, 2 years, you know what they're going to do most of the time. There's that 15% chance that they're just going to throw you off the rails. But
15? That's small?
It's a generous.
I mean, that's towards the end of our campaign, which I'm thinking, is
that's
2 years from now. So I'm keeping notes of how they play. So
that's genius, and I should have done that.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't.
Coulda, shoulda.
Or you get that prescient, or omnipotent, I should say, character who's been studying them for a while and knows their shit and knows their tricks and is just like, no.
We discussed this last time.
Yeah, I'm immune to that tough shit. I don't care if you deal radiant damage, cleric. I'm immune. Tough shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed that last episode actually, which is, or was it the episode before? Pretty sure it was last episode, but we discussed basically using the narrative to test your players and figure out how they play.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And right now, most of my players are just setting things on fire.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dumbasses, but that's also true.
They've done some things that I'm really proud of the last couple campaigns. Granted, they all fell face first into a swamp this last episode, but that's not the point. I'm proud of them. And all I'm going to say is I'm proud of them.
I feel so bad that a running gag in this show is to fucking dunk on the Space Days crew.
Yeah.
not the actual players, the characters.
Listen, if there's anyone that deserves to be dunked on, it's Botchus.
Okay, Botchus is my dumb tiefling friend, and I love him, and he's so sweet, and he's gonna get himself killed, or he's gonna
They
get
say
somebody
the
else
eyes are the
killed.
windows to the soul. Well, the lights are on and nobody's home.
Oh, burn.
Hey,
Stomach full, head empty. That is Botchus is
Oh
Botchus
my
is
God.
the unknown himbo of space
He's
days.
pure of heart and dumb of ass.
And everybody loves him. And I'm sorry, Kaz, that we're ragging on Botchus right now, but he's actually very quiet, like compared to what the original Botchus was. And I'm really excited for him to break out of that shell a little bit, because he is just a big dork and everybody just rags on him all the time. Like, all the time.
See, I was going to rag on Nora a bit because of her, like, I don't know. Like, you know how when you have in, like, a video game RPG, they list out, like, your possible actions on your screen? I feel like Nora's one action is split the party.
Oh my goodness.
It is. It really is. Like, there's split the party, get drunk, or pick up Botchus. That is the 3 moves that Nora has.
3 commands.
Depending on which one she chooses, another option bar pops down with some other, like, choices. But yeah. No. Just, yeah. There have been a lot of times where I'll have some creature that I've created, and I'm like, this is awesome. And they're like, oh yeah, we set it on fire. And I'm like, okay. And suddenly it has a giant stinger on the end of its butt, and it's going to come at you. I didn't originally have that, but
But I'm mad now, so
I'm mad now.
Well, but that actually like is a legit point, because I've adjusted stuff on the fly. I'm sure you all have. Just be like,
my
well,
God, yeah.
that didn't. Okay, never mind. Not built or not working as built. Fine. Error message, and just very quickly like scribble. I will admit. I've never fudged rolls, but I have added hit points back in just because I was like, well, fuck.
I've also taken
Error
away hit
404.
points too.
Yep. Yeah.
Error 404, hit points not found.
I don't usually mess with AC, but I will move HP around just based on what's like if they can't hit for shit for 2 rounds and they're just getting walloped on. I might not change how hard it's hitting, but I might adjust a few things just to see how they react. Or I might have it make, because it's a creature, it's not going to act optimally all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if it thinks it can get away and take 2 hits of opportunity, but maybe it can get away and, it's what is that? The monsters know what they're doing. It's a great book. Great book, great blog. I've used that a ton because it's so helpful. And it taught me a lot about, you look at a stat block, like as a new DM, and you look at the Beholder stat block and you're like, dear God, how can anyone fight this thing? It looks invincible. And then you realize that, well, not necessarily. They're vain, egotistical creatures, but they also can't really leave their domain. So how is a player going to mess with that? It's interesting to me, the dynamic of that.
Yeah.
There's always a weak point. Usually right behind the eyes.
There's a chink in the armor.
There's a soft underbelly. Or blow it up from the inside.
God, it'd be so funny to run an encounter with a dragon-like smile where it's just invincible, kicking their ass. I want to shoot it in the back. It's dead. Like, I want to shoot its belly. Oh, it's dead now. Good job.
Good job.
Blowing up a shadow dragon from the inside.
You've solved my knowing the Hobbit puzzle.
Did you name your goddamn wizard Taco? Yeah.
Are you naming your goddamn wizard Taco?
That will never fail to make me laugh. Ever, ever, ever.
So
well, it's more like Taco. Are you naming your goddamn wizard Taco? His name is Taco. What's his last name? Taco, but spelled different. Taco. Greatest wizard to ever live.
Greatest wizard to ever live.
So, do you think it's time for absolutely horrible D&D ideas?
Oh, I definitely think it's time.
Yay!
It is time for absolutely horrible D&D ideas that I must try out ASAP. This is one that a lot of you have definitely seen before, but I really like it, and I think that there's a lot that we can expand on it with. And it's by user Cullen Scott on Tumblr. And it's a normal D&D session, but you can't use dice. Prove to me that you can make this acrobatics check by successfully performing a triple backflip off the kitchen counter in real life. Can I seduce the goblin? I don't know. Can you seduce me? And this ties into an idea, just a horrible, terrible, cursed idea that I had a while back, which was play D&D, but with Uno cards.
Oh.
Does a 9 hit? Actually, Uno reverse, bitch. It hurt itself in its confusion. I don't know how that would work, but I love the idea of playing D&D, but you fuck up a critical mechanic of it, so it becomes just almost unplayable.
There's just a level.
I've seen posts of people who play D&D with Cards Against Humanity cards instead of dice. I cast bees?
That's just Dragon Age Inquisition. That's all that is.
Yeah.
It's just a jar of bees.
You're not wrong.
I will tell you guys something really, really embarrassing. This doesn't leave the tavern, actually. Well,
I know nothing.
But
except for, do you mean that as in edit this out of the episode, or do you mean that as in like?
No, you can keep it in if you want. But this is like, we actually did this a couple years back. I think it was like 5 years ago, and it was when we were really into Voltron. And so I ran a Galra training camp where I was training new recruits to the Galra Empire. And so we literally went outside, and I had the entire campaign in a booklet that was So You're Training New Galra Recruits, Volume 1, written by Sendak. And
love this.
Bold of you to assume that he's literate.
You know, it was a very short book. But I had to go through an obstacle course. They filled out a D&D sheet for their characters with their like decks and everything, and I went off of that. And like, if their dex was really bad, I would add more obstacles into the course because they were blindfolded, and they had to like.
This sounds amazing.
They had to shoot arrows. I lost more than half of my arrows during this campaign. And it was actually like really fun. They had to prove their survival by like swimming in a kiddie pool.
Oh my god.
It was pretty fun. And we were actually just unpacking a box the other day, and Kaz threw that binder at me, and I kind of had a little mental despair and chucked it across the room, but it was
I think you just described LARP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did.
Why not?
Breaking news,
Funny.
Lance is a fucking nerd.
This is no surprise.
Yeah. It's not breaking if you've listened to any of the previous episodes.
Oh.
But I think this has got to take the cake, my bro.
Yeah.
It's not. Now, let me throw an addenda to that. That doesn't mean that sounds unfun.
No, that sounds like a blast. It's just...
no, it was super fun, but my god, that was so bad.
That reminds me. You remember B suggested a while back that we do Whose Line Is It Anyway in character, and I remember we did that on
It
the
was
server
so-
in voice chat one night, and
It
I
was
pretty
very
much
fun.
killed everybody in the call by the prompt was if YouTubers were
If
in charge
entertainers,
of
it was
planning
entertainers.
funerals.
Yeah.
And I just without hesitation said, what's up, guys? It's your boy Noobmaster69. Looks like this chump got shreked, as we say. Can I get an F in chat, please? And the whole chat, like, it's become an inside joke of, can I get an F in chat, please?
Oh my god.
I can't remember anything else from that night. That's the only thing that I remember.
You didn't record it?
We didn't think to record it.
It was a
Okay.
test run
That is
recording
almost
that we.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
almost as bad as the time we did a one shot, and it was one of the funniest one shots that we've ever done, and we didn't record it.
I was going to say, can I tell you my ultimate tragedy as a DM
Yes.
off
Yes,
of this?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So I wasn't even running it, but Eggs, who you've now met, you all, not on the recording, but did you meet? Yeah, you did. You met Eggs. It's been a long day. And the gnome wizard, because they're both gnomes, from our campaign, decided to go on a friend date. Like wholesome friend date. So I wasn't even I showed up as a player. I just had to be Eggs. That's all I had to do was be Eggs. That's it. I just had to be Eggs. Someone's gonna buy me dinner and take me drinking. It's gonna go walk on the beach. It's perfect.
Why is
super
this
into
like
it.
adorable?
Right? She's adorable and also fucking obnoxious. So her and Alicia show up friend date, and I can't spoil this because we cannot recreate it. I was recording the whole thing. Recording lost.
Oh no!
Yes. So we're gonna re-record it, but Sam and Julia, who are in my campaign, play Hazel, the Lycan blood hunter, and Sam plays Lost Marble, the Tabaxi druid, who sets everything on fire. Lost Marble, it's a fucking perfect name. It's a perfect
Just
name.
great. I love that.
They decided that they were going to set these two up and just kind of help them along because they're both awkward in their own way, gnomes. And if it's a friend thing or something else happens, if there's like kissy faces, now kiss. It's fine, doesn't matter. They just wanted to snoop, basically. So we're all already drinking by the time we're like a half an hour in. I've had like a half a bottle of wine and things just start to go off the rails real quickly. And Sam, bless their soul, was turned and faced away from the camera at one point. Well, what Sam's character, the druid, was doing was sitting on top of the Lycan's shoulders. They put a trench coat around them.
Oh my god.
And Sam turned around and had drawn on a shitty, like, curly mustache on their face on camera and was like, yes, welcome to the French restaurant. Would you like a croissant or some wine? Horrible. The entire thing was magic. And it got lost. It's not even that, because Sam's Norwegian. Sam's Norwegian. Sigrid, who plays Alicia, is Norwegian. Julia's from Austria. And I'm American. So you want to talk about just no accents whatsoever. That sounds remotely like they're supposed to, and the recording didn't. And I have forever lost this. And we are still a year and a half later talking about just recording it for why not.
Yeah. Our lost chance was I think I gotta say, so we had the silly, like, okay, Sorry, for most of you who would know who Sari is. I love her very much. She's our monk bard, our gnome, quote, quote, monk bard in the Frostwalkers campaign. And she is not dumb, just goofy.
Yeah.
And she was somehow selected to be the one to fly the fucking spaceship that we had just stolen. And I will never forget this. I forget if it was like a roll that did this, but basically she flew too close to the ground and like startled some poor farmer. And I just like without hesitation said, "Mama, don't get my shotgun. The aliens are after the chickens again." And that has become another meme of the Frostwalkers server.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Credit where credit is due. I actually took that joke from a Gary Larson comic, and it's still to this day one of the funniest quotes I ever have seen in my life.
Speaking of credit where it's due, the spaceship they stole was Lance's spaceship.
Yeah, we had a crossover with 20SA, and it was wonderful.
It was completely done off the cuff and dumb and great.
Oh my god.
The kind of drunk humor you'd expect.
Crying.
Wasn't that also Nick was playing Timmy Alice?
Nick was playing Timmy! Oh god, I love Timmy. Timmy is a gnome barbarian, and he's like... he's got the most pleasant voice you can imagine, but he's just like unreasonably buff. Like this 2-foot gnome man held up my 6-foot cat man by his ankle.
Swole. Isn't that what the kids say? Swole?
Swole.
Timmy is an enigma.
I love Timmy.
But it's I love smaller characters with that just strange whatever thing it is that they have.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy that so much.
The character plans for the escape artist, which was/is my campaign that I was gonna run, included Katita Fahari, who is a halfling monk with, because of mechanical errors, an 8-foot vertical leap.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if she uses Step of the Wind, becomes a 16-foot vertical leap.
Yep.
And it terrifies me.
That's amazing. Okay, so y'all will enjoy this. We're way off. Like, I don't know, but so my lovely dear husband, and I do not say that ironically, very, very kind man, had never played D&D, and then I got into it, and he was like, "What are you doing?" So I explained, and he's a giant nerd. I'm just like, well, how do you not know what this? Okay, anyways, back up. And he decided he wanted to play a half-orc fighter. Well, perfect. That's easy. Like, fighter's great for a brand new D&D player. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Right down the line. Fighter barbarian, like, just not a whole lot to mess with there. Rolled his stats. Rolled an 18 for the half-orc's charisma. And he didn't quite understand what that meant. And I was like, well, you can, so I'm kind of like coaching him on some of this stuff. He's like, so what do I do? And I said, well, your charisma means you're highly persuasive, or if you want to use it for deception, or you want to scare someone. So he thought intimidate was the way to go, which again, half-orc. Sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense, right. He failed every single one of those rolls.
No!
He could persuade out his ass. Couldn't intimidate for anything. 6 foot tall, like 6.5 foot tall, big old beefy former pirate fighter, right? Scarred, just like macho. Couldn't scare the pants off of a kid. It was just like, what is happening right now? The irony was beautiful. I loved it.
That.
So I I'll put it in chat for y'all later, but our DM actually commissioned an artist to paint our characters. I should show you Zodak because he is a beautiful, beautiful half-orc man. I'll send this to you, B. But anyways,
Good.
don't let me get you off track here any more than we.
Yeah, I think that should call it for the segment. Yeah.
Oh god, we've gone so off topic. We kind of left the segment like several stories ago.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, using a foreign element to add to D&D's insanity is fun, and I'll end it with this. I've seen people use a Jenga thing, and I don't know what that's about. So
what?
I've seen streams where people have like a Jenga tower playing D&D, and I've never looked into it, so I don't.
Were they using it off of the dread mechanic?
I
The
don't
what?
know. I have no idea.
So Dread is a horror RPG that uses a Jenga tower.
Okay.
And if you fuck up the pole, something very bad happens.
Yeah, I figured that would be the case, but just
Yeah.
like that's such a weird RPG system to think about.
But
Yeah.
it's,
Don't get me wrong, that's really cool. It's also just like
It's
what?
horrifying because the taller the Jenga tower, I mean, we all know what happens. Like, eventually someone's going to fail that pole. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah. Oh, it's there. It was done once or twice, I want to say, on Geek and Sundry, where they did the Dread, and it's all RP, so it's very well done. But it can get very creepy very quickly because it's Ivan Van Norman who's DMing it, and things get real gothy and spooky and shit like super fast.
that might be what it was. That might be what it was, to be honest. But yeah, I guess that's an example of adding a element to your game to make an interesting
Mhm.
new mechanic.
So you all know I've never played Jenga.
I don't recommend it.
I'm not going to. It's too stressful.
Very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. Um,
All right. Yeah, we've been out this for over an hour.
So Shay asks, almost over. Shay asks, explain Went Go. You brought it up in the episode with Star. The audience needs answers.
I missed that
Oh,
completely.
Explain Went Go. I brought it up in the episode with Star. And oh god, I can't remember how much of the situation that I explained. Did I go into? Did I tell you about the bay leaves and the?
It was literally just you said like Went Go, and then you said that's another story, and then Star said save it after the episode, and then we started talking about Sonic, and we never recovered.
That's true. Oh boy. Okay. So
this is like I guess Spark Notes version of this because this is a short question.
Oh boy. All right. God. This is so a while back I was just, messaging my girlfriend. She was talking about a movie that she just watched, and I sort of zoned out. And when I zone out, sometimes I type things just randomly. And so I zoned back in after like 2 minutes. And apparently, the primordial lizard that inhabits my cerebellum decided that the best way to express itself would be to send the message, "Went go?" ? And that's it. So several minutes later, I said, all right, hang on. I'm going to try and astral project and see if I can get this lizard to spin more wisdom into words. And so I did, and I came back to "Went go will haven't be hung if the dry is wet." Which makes no fucking sense. However, this is not the first nor the only thing that the lizard has said. Subsequently, the lizard has said such things as, "Is good to eat the sound when the bright is dark. Be gone when the bright loud. Went haven't be gone, be wet down."
So this is basically an E.E. Cummings poem.
Where were the other two? Strange, bright, loud, hurt the ground, will be went gone dark. And the masterpiece. When the bright is new is good to get warm. Bright new is swift dark went hung. Warm good.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Warm is good.
So I guess I'm the world's shittiest oracle. When I go into my trance, I channel the spirit of a lizard from the fucking Triassic period, I guess.
Oh my god.
Whose only contributions, whose only prophecies are just telling you how to be a better lizard from the Triassic period.
Oh, that hurt. Oh.
So that's the story of Went Go.
I think you should. I'm actually not joking. I think you should put. I think you should call them server poems and just like
I feel like that's when you try and roll a language check on like something written around the door and you get like a 10.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Yep.
So my friend does calligraphy, and she wrote up all of these prophecies.
Oh my god.
And we did we singed the edges of them and everything. So they look like these old-timey fancy style prophecies, and they're just nonsense. And I have them all taped on my dorm door.
That's actually the Book of Strahd. That's what that is.
Yeah. Confirmed.
That's what Strahd was doing. I would love that if the players got a hold of the Tome of Strahd and that was it. Oh god damn it, I need to do that.
Jesus. Holy shit. Oh, this is great. This is such a good idea.
Oh shoot. Oh,
God.
Conspiracy. Strahd is a lizard confirmed?
Is a lizard person?
Strahd isn't a vampire. No, oh my god, what if you actually switched out Strahd's stat block from vampire to lizard folk?
He is a lizard folk vampire. This is the greatest.
Jesus, that is the best.
T-Rex.
Guys, I just think of that one, the trilling lizard, the trilling dinosaur.
Yes. Guys, I think we have to message Star after this episode. Because she runs Strahd pretty prodigiously, and I think she might be interested in this hot take.
I think we just need to message her. Strahd is lizard? Question mark?
Question mark?
Okay.
Don't put a question mark, just type question mark.
You just find that carved into the stone in one of the crypts in the Castle Ravenloft. Just like
lizard.
Instead
of a blood smear.
Instead of look behind you, it's Strahd is lizard.
Yeah.
Oh
god, why is that in the king and queen's crypt? What's going on?
God, but imagine I'm going places with this now. Imagine this vampire wants to be human so badly that he's used propaganda to make the whole Megalovania think they're a human vampire.
It's a whisper campaign.
Yeah, just to hide that they're a lizard folk.
That is very Strahdian, though.
It is. This is a weirdly in-character twist.
That's weird. See, the problem is that I can't use it for my current campaign. I'd be like, what the fuck?
It's too late, Halli. It's never too late. Throw in that twist. Do that.
This is the sort of campaign that I would use Jerry in.
Okay.
So he can fix this.
Next question. I'm gonna go with a new question asker. Jester asks, how do you deal with traveling, when they're just walking? Encounters in that era can be real boring. I spice them up with cinematics, but my players usually just let it roll, which can get pretty boring. How do you make travel fun?
I mean, okay. For the most part, okay, so here's what I was planning to do for the escape artists. If the journey was important, then I would actually have them traveling. Sort of like how the Adventure Zone did it, where you sort of get a scene of them traveling, right? You don't go through the whole thing, because I had a DM that did that, and oh my god, it was the most tedious thing. But if it's important, part of the plot of the campaign was I wanted to show off several of the locations in the world that I had built, including mushroom forests and a deep sea trench and stuff. So traveling in those areas, I had encounters planned that are thematic, like dust mephits and bulettes and vampires in scuba gear and stuff like that. I will not elaborate, mostly because I can't. But also getting to those places. Again? Yeah, no.
Strahd lizard and also scuba.
Oh god. Anyway, so for the basically for filler episodes for the opening of the campaign, they were hitching a ride with a caravan out into the Shattered Sea, which is like a desert that is just dotted with lakes. And the caravan in itself had some intrigue to it. So I still have the session notes, and I eventually want to do that, but once I figure out more of what the actual campaign and world is like, because I don't want to rush headlong into it. But other than I would definitely say, please, for the love of God, do not make them go through the entire. Don't make your players go to the bath. Don't make your characters go to the bathroom. It's not entertaining for
That
basically
serves
anyone.
no purpose. Yeah, no.
If your gang is into like super duper immersion, and you're the kind of group who like tracks torches and rations and ammo and stuff and real nitty gritty, then like, yeah, okay. If you're into that, go for it. But for the most part, players don't want to deal with that.
No.
That's not what they're there for the character development, and they're there for the action, and they're there for a good story, not to go virtually camping.
I am 125.5% with you on that, because that was, I think, out the gate for me. I was like, I don't care about encumbrance unless y'all are going to carry golems around. Then we can talk. Like,
yeah,
you have your spell components with you, up to a point, and then if we get to a certain cost, you got to go buy that shit, type of a thing. But like, you need twigs. There's a fucking forest. Go for it. I don't care. Like, whatever type of a thing.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the story about Herbert?
Herbert?
Absolutely.
About Hubert the camel.
Oh, this sounds entertaining as hell. Please.
So when we're talking about travel, my group started in the desert. They started in Marquette, actually, in Ankara, in the Critical Role Exandria world, because that's how we all started. And they were hired by the Mage College out there to go retrieve an artifact. You're adventurers. And it was kind of that thing where, like, the Mage College didn't really care. Like, great, we'll pay you half up front. Here's 50 gold, whatever. If you die, darn. They don't care, type of thing. But basically, go retrieve this artifact, which the artifact has been a thing throughout the entire campaign. And they've never been to the desert before. And they need to go several days out. And walking across sand is not fun in the heat. It's not fun for anyone. And so they're looking around. And they're like, oh, there's a stable over there. It's not horses, it's camels. So they eventually talk to the stable master, who says, oh yeah, Hubert here. Best camel we got. Knows his way around. And it's a camel. So he's just chewing, spitting, hanging out, being a camel, doing camel things. And they put the two smaller, there's a halfling and a gnome, the two smaller characters up on the camel, so their speed doesn't get reduced already, because it's 25 feet. And the halfling is the blood hunter, so she's got pretty good perception. So she's up scouting around. Hubert was not a camel. That was the first time where they realized I was fucking. Now someone asked me what Hubert was.
What was Hubert?
Hubert was a tiefling named Tyrax, who could polymorph. So like 3 games in, they realize they go out and there's no camel. They're like, oh no, something ate our camel. And he's like, no, I'm here.
That's amazing.
Oh my
The thing is, here's the thing. I set that precedent for traveling, because once they figured out that the relic was being hunted by someone else who actually needed their help, and they rescued him, and he kind of bamfed them back. So they've done some traveling, like they've had to walk or cart or oxen or horse or whatever the case may be. But and I think it's very group specific. For my group, that's boring. And they don't want to do that. So we montage. Later, I have perception. But unless something weird happens on my end when I'm rolling percentile die, we just go forward, type of a thing. Because
that makes sense.
Yeah, if your group isn't into it and they want to get to the next point and they want to go and figure out, the next story hook or the next piece of the mystery or whatever it is that they're after, the goal, the giant red skull in Fallout where you're not supposed to go over there, like whatever it is that they're wanting to do, if traveling is not part of that, it's not an integral part of it, you're going to bore them out of their skulls, and then they're going to be like, yay, that was so great, thanks.
Yeah.
Or you could just bring in Hubert. You're welcome to use Hubert.
Good.
For that.
So, do you think it's time? I think it might be time. Lance, would you like to take the stage for a moment? Because
yes, please. I need to hear this new segment.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay. It's my time. This is my moment in the sun. Okay. So, because I was feeling like a little left out baby, I am starting a segment called Lance's Pub Puns, where each time I will tell you a really bad D&D joke or pun. And I'm going to start us all off very gentle, slow start, get everybody accustomed to it.
Okay.
So, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who?
What?
Who?
Who?
Albert!
God damn it.
And this has been Lance's Pun Pub.
Jesus.
I mean, come on. Like, you
I'm
gotta
not sure-
give it up.
I'm not sure I can articulate just how much I resent that joke.
All agreed to this. There's no going back.
Oh.
No, I signed my own death warrant here. I was the one who answered the door.
True.
I hope you like that, because that's going to happen now.
That is a permanent addition to the show. No take backsies.
Oh, man. Wow, I think this... Hey, Lance, also, this might be the segment that doesn't drain time. I think you deserve props for that.
It's just one and done.
One and done. Okay, so I have one last question, then I think we'll go into Cursed Homebrew, and then we'll start the wrap-up
we've been at
phase.
this for an hour and a half.
All right.
So, Silver Dusk has 2 questions, but I'm gonna let you... I'll let you pick your poison. Silver Dusk's questions are: what is the best thing you've used to get the players involved in the world building, and how you do it to get how you do it to get them deeper? For example, I had my players invent how they were going to run and build their tavern, as an example.
Sounds like dumbest.
That's a dragon heist thing. I see you, Silver.
Mm-hmm.
The other question was a 3-prong question of the best story you have as a DM where you fudged a roll for your players, or something in combat, the most amazing and dumbest thing you've had a player do, and the first D&D character you've ever made, and do you regret their existence?
Oh my god. I think we just got to do the last one. Like we've kind of covered immersive world building before.
It's true.
Unless you want to throw your 2 cents in, Halli.
Yeah.
No, I really like that very last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know what? This might be a good idea. We'll save the world building question to a time where we can get someone another like fresh take on this, because we've answered this quite a bit. So I think we'll go with Silver's second question, and we'll work backward, starting with, what was the first D&D character you've ever created, and do you regret their existence?
I mean, my first character was Jatai, and everyone loves him, so I don't regret him at all.
My first character was Lucas? I guess the first character I put effort into was Lucas. I don't know,
but like your first character, though.
But then I have to talk about I don't care again, and that punchline's already been done.
Sorry, what?
I didn't talk about Sir I Don't Care.
No, you did not. Not that I recall.
Okay, well, here's the story. I was DMing, my friend Jackson was DMing for us. I was 16. I knew nothing about the game. A year later was when I'd start getting interested in D&D. But he just invited me over to play this game on a weekend, and I said, okay. And he was using OrcPub to pre-make the characters. And I was a little shit, apparently. Because when he wrote up a Dragonborn Paladin for me, this game that we were running, by the way, was in fact the Wild Sheep Chase. So,
Yeah!
Love that.
So, he created custom flaws for our characters, but the rest were ours to design. He let us pick race class, and he would plant a flaw in each of our characters. These flaws ranged from this character has a crush on this character but will die before they say it, or this character wants to murder this character. You know what I mean? Like these very like improv-y flaws that we walked to the table with.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was that this blue Dragonborn Paladin with the strength of like a Titan had a illogical phobia of sheep.
That's fucking brilliant. I think now that you mention it, I think you have discussed this before, but this is still the funniest shit.
Oh my god.
But back to the name. When Jackson asked me, hey Bobby, what do you want your character to be named? I, being an edgy 16-year-old, responded in the way an edgy 16-year-old would. I don't care. Pick something from the book. And Jackson must have, in a moment, known what he was going to do, had the poker face, looks at the player's handbook, kind of like looks like he's looking, kind of nods a bit to himself and goes, gotcha, and types some stuff in. And I'm confident, and I keep eating my pizza, playing Magic the Gathering with my buddies, you know? An hour later, it's time to go. I get my character sheet, and I look at the name, and it is Sir I Don't Care. And so I
Give
had to play
shit,
the rest.
get shit.
Exactly. So I played the rest of the night as a Dragonborn Paladin named Sir I Don't Care,
Oh my god.
terrified of sheep, and the running gag was, God, your parents must have hated you.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
God
Jackson-
damn it.
Jackson
Maximum oof 100.
Jackson destroyed me for my negligence, and it was well deserved. I blame ignorance, but also good job, buddy. Like wherever you are now, just good job. You did a good job.
That's phenomenal.
I don't regret I Don't Care's existence because I think that taught me a valuable lesson, and I think it also is the greatest party story I have.
Oh my god.
Lance, Halli, your favorite character, your first characters, and thoughts on their continued existence.
So Halli, what's your first?
Okay, so very first character is kind of a subject that I don't necessarily want to broach because I don't want to bring down the whole banter of this recording. It wasn't the character, it was the group I was with, and unfortunately I was harassed pretty badly.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't want to go kind of into that much more than that. But
Understandable.
it's a good lesson. However, I mentioned her before, but the first character that I played for any amount of time was a halfling bard by the name of Shay, and she was that kind of College of Lore, very bookish. And then she, probably one of my favorite moments ever in gaming, the entire time I've been playing, was that they were in this like mad scientist's lab, and he'd long run off into the woods or whatever. And so they're just kind of, the whole group's kind of poking around, and Shay's like, what's this? And taps this jar, and there's a brain in a jar. It's very Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory style type of thing. Yes. Well, and my DM is an old school, like, was running a D&D, back in the day type of a thing. And had actually pulled this lab and the whole module out of an AD&D setting and kind of retooled it for our group and for 5e and everything. But she failed her will save, her wisdom save, and got basically kind of brain hijacked by this entity that was like, yes, you will do. So she had her own psyche and consciousness, or whatever word you want to use there, pushing and pulling against this very ancient entity that was like, I am no longer corporeal, but I'll ride along with you for a little while. And that's when shit got dark. So he actually let me retcon, we talked about it beforehand, but he let me retcon into College of Blades.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was almost like she forgot everything she ever knew. And this entity, if she was willing, taught her. She almost, like, if we'd gone on longer, she probably would have multiclassed either into Rogue or Warlock and taken this entity on as her patron.
Very.
It's very intense, yeah. But it really showed me, that was the first time where I flipped on its head. And we never... we weren't going around like murdering or anything like that, but an alignment wasn't really, it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
But for her to go from lawful good to this thing is now playing around in your brain like the Borg, it's just like, yeah, it got very kind of, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? I like it.
You got Borged.
A little bit. There was a little bit of Borg going on there, I won't lie. And as a Trekkie, I was fully into it. So it was interesting, and it was a really good teaching point. And it showed me the flexibility of storylines. And he taught me a lot with that character, because we played for a couple of years with those characters. It was a lot of fun. And just getting to understand that things aren't ever really set in the stone. He, from everything as simple as him letting me retcon into College of Blades to her dynamic and how it changed with the party and how she viewed herself and the outside world. Did it really matter that she was on this quest to go, find her mom? Did it really matter anymore to her? That kind of, so it really caused her to have a crisis of conscience that I enjoyed.
So she became a nihilist.
Mm-hmm. In a way.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you want to approach it from a philosophical edge, yes.
Interesting. So I doubt you regret her existence.
I don't regret her existence. I would say that knowing what I know now, several years down the line, the only thing I don't call it a regret, because I don't live with a lot of regrets. The only thing that I wish I'd had more knowledge of at the time, and it's no one's fault, absolutely no one, was that I hadn't sat down with the DM for a little bit longer and gone, but what about this? But what about this? And had more questions to ask.
Fair. Well, Lance, do you want to take this one, or?
Oh yeah, no, we don't need to talk about my regret.
That's okay. If it's something you don't want to talk about, we're good.
Yeah, if you don't want to bring... I was going to say, yes, you do. But honestly, if you don't want to bring it up, then that's cool.
It's not dark or anything. It's just ridiculous. It was my first time playing D&D, and I got a 1.5 minute instruction of how to play and or fill out a character sheet in the car ride to the house.
Oh, boy.
And so he was really broken. He was a half-elf rogue. I don't remember his name, but I remember
his name is now he.
Yeah, he. And his entire party was orcs. And he was on the shorter side, and he was like, he'd do horrible on everything. So I just made him so broken and so wrong, and didn't get it was a fun campaign, but whenever he would talk to any girl in this campaign, the orcs would just say, bring her boar. Bitches love boars. And so that was that was
not an entourage.
Joke. Yeah, that was the entire running joke. And so there's this tiny half elf trying to get information because his entire party is a bunch of very stupid, broken orc characters. This entire party was just broken, and I don't know how we didn't die.
This sounds like the weirdest AU of The Hobbit, and I'm almost
They would just sit there and like we actually have a picture of him just standing there looking really unamused as he's trying to talk to this woman and get information and doing horribly, and his orc companions in the back, each of them holding this like roasted boar and just having this really happy look on their face, just yelling, "Bitches love boars."
This is amazing. Yeah, this is just a really weird AU of The Hobbit.
Oh my
The story
god.
is the same, but they just changed the races of protagonists.
I don't know if I regret him or just regret the campaign.
Both.
real
Both is
both?
good.
Both.
Yep.
Both is good.
A real query. So that'll be our last question. Thank you,
All right,
Soda.
B, it is time.
So last time we did Cursed Homebrew, we kind of scattershotted it in the Pokemon community and also Cybertronians, and I feel like I was a bit of a letdown. I feel like we didn't really sink our teeth into one the way we have in the past, you know? But Spy challenged me last time to look into the Super Mario franchise, and I dug through the annals, and I have found the worst of the worst.
Lay it on us.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Mario Kid.
Yeah! Let's go! It's a me, Mario!
You just literally read the the Mariokin are a race that resemble humans, but are noticeably different from the average human. Mariokin have a wide range of heights, 5 and 7 feet tall. The males can weigh anywhere between 200 and 330. Females can weigh 130 to 230. Most Mariokin are fairly pale in skin tone. The males are usually have black or brown hair with mustaches, and the females have brown or blonde hair. Mariokin are a mysterious race. Not much is known about their history. No Mariokin ever tells their origins of their kingdom, and some question where they came from, but never truly find an answer. Are you sick of me saying the word Mario?
Every time you fucking say Mario-kin, I have to roll a will save to not leave the call.
Now
I had a friend who was Mario-kin.
What?
Okay, now I am having bad Tumblr flashbacks.
Actually, no.
Kin stuff. Like I can't.
And no, he was kin with Dirk from Homestuck. Bad times.
Now let me be 100% honest. This does have the April tag on it.
Oh, the April Fool's tag. Okay, thank God. I was afraid this was serious.
I mean, yeah, if someone's just like, ha, then sure.
Well, now here's the thing. It's hard to know with these wikis because it's hard to say if someone wrote this and then a modman came and added the April Fool's tag to save their ass, or if someone wrote this with the intention of the April Fool's tag. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's
you can never know.
Y'all, I'm too old for this. I can't.
You can never know.
I can't.
The traits: your strength increases by 2, and your con increases by 1. They can range wildly in alignment. Your speed is 30 feet. Your abilities are strong legs. Your legs are powerful, letting you jump to amazing heights. Your
8-foot vertical leap.
16 foot.
Your jump height
God.
is 15 feet vertically.
Holy shit! Yes!
Kill it with fire. Kill it with fire right now.
Everyone roll initiative.
God damn it. That's my BEG in my next campaign.
No! It's gotta be Bowser, and all of your players are Mario-kin.
No, I was just gonna make a 50-foot
Man, it gets worse.
No!
Oh.
Lance legitimately... Okay, no. It was B. I thought Lance actually left the call.
Yeah. The next ability is simply called Shrooms, and it just says, you are no stranger to foraging for mushrooms. You're proficient in nature and survival, and have advantage on identifying fungus. And lastly, the ground pound. Your massive derriere is well versed in squashing enemies. While above an enemy smaller and lighter than you, you can attempt to land on them.
Just stop, please. I can't take this anymore.
Mario thick.
Thick with 3 Qs.
Yep.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mario game.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Remember when this segment used to be
B,
like,
I need you to check our group chat.
Kill it with fire.
do you want me to do that right now or save it?
You know what? Why not? We're already in cursed territory.
All right, you asked
I need
for
you
it.
to search.
Sans Undertale.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It exists.
Yeah!
There's no April Fool's tag.
No?
There's no April Fool's tag.
No.
Oh
wait a
my
second.
god, I need to run a campaign where Sans is the big bad evil guy.
Guys, it's worse. Guys, it's worse.
B?
It's not a
B.
race. It's a class.
B.
Sans is a class.
B, I need you to run a campaign of Strahd where instead of Strahd, it's Sans.
Guys, but I may have lied to you. It's not a race. Sans is a class.
I'm not going to ask how. I'm not going to ask how. I'm not going to get into that territory. I'm not opening that door. I am not pushing that button.
I think we have to call it here. There's no way we can come back from this or top it.
I don't want. I think next time I will read the Sans class off to you and get more details, because this is a long post because it's a whole class.
Oh,
I will only say I will just read the names of the abilities, and we can go into it another time. Level 1, shortcuts, attacking techniques.
Second is what?
B, come back. B.
Blame it all on me.
Oh no.
Discord is refusing to let me talk about Sans.
There's your sign. That's it.
Oh
Right there.
god. All right.
I will only say that at 18th level, your ability is, in all caps, a bad time.
Oh my god, that was like getting shot in the gut. Holy shit.
I might actually leave that Discord flub in because it just adds to the comedy of this bit. So that's fine with me.
Okay,
All right,
I think we need to
that's
go.
it.
Tune in next time for more Sans Undertale.
Before we go, Halli, is there any way people can get in touch with you if they like what they heard and want to catch up in your campaign before the very end?
God, why would you? No.
Hey, I just got excited about our friend request there, Halli. Okay.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, actually, so I run the social media, which is basically Twitter because I don't understand Instagram, for the Terrible Party. So at terrible_party, which I think we're likely going to rename after this campaign's over, and we will just be the Terrible Party. So I can finally stop saying the STDs. Dear God. I will celebrate that day with a giant glass of wine.
You guys will just be the TP. What everyone needs.
Oh, God damn it!
Hey, you're what everyone wants right now. So
yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Unless you're a bidet. Bidet. I'm at Halli the DM on Twitter. I am not super active. I mostly use it to just kind of like retweet our charity stuff and some of the games that are going on and some community stuff, because Twitter makes me sad. So I try not to use it too much on a personal level. Yeah. I left Facebook 4 years ago. So
same.
I wonder why. Yeah.
Fuck Zuck.
Oh God, I can't with any
Zuck
of that
guy.
I can't. But at terrible_party is really kind of the place where we do try to promote our friends and different things that are going on. So for right now, that's where all of the info is. I don't see that changing anytime soon. We usually have a pinned tweet based on what's going on. So like I said, right now it's the charity stream that's happening next weekend on the 27th and the 28th. I don't know if you want me to talk any more about that or...
Coward.
Do it. I will say I will try to get this episode up before you saying next week is not correct. So
right. Well, that's why I was trying to not do it too much.
Yeah, no. I'll try my best. These episodes actually usually tend to be pretty nice in the editing department, so
you don't have to do too much. That's good. So we are running a charity stream. I'm hoping that we get to do one a quarter. So this will be our spring 2020 charity stream, playing for different charities that help kids especially, but families as well, dealing with homelessness, poverty, and domestic violence, which is escalating right now as everyone is stuck indoors. Police are getting a lot of phone calls, unfortunately, about these situations. So in the US, we are playing for Project Night Night and Safe, Stuffed Animals for Emergencies. These are two groups that work with different shelters and other small organizations in the US to create kits for kids who are in these unsafe, unstable households. So the kits usually include like a blanket and a stuffed animal, a book, a hoodie, things to keep them feeling cozy and safe and protected, that they can pick up and take with them if a parent or a guardian needs to take them out of their home. And then because we are an international group, always have been, we are also playing for the UN Refugee Agency, which is just a perpetual need. And we're also playing for a Canadian foster group that works with kids in the foster system. I think it's the Canadian Foster Aid Agency, I think is the name of it. And they really do a lot of work with those kids who are kind of stuck in the system up there as well. But we encourage you to find or know of a charity close to you. I know things are really weird and money is super tight right now, and a lot of freelancers are running into some issues. So we're just trying to raise awareness. We are working directly with Project Night Night and Safe. They are aware that we're doing this. They are all like full steam ahead behind it, which just makes my heart happy. And so they're like, yes, yay, Twitch. A couple of them knew what Twitch. God, oh no, what did I do? They're really excited and they're like, we've never had anyone play for us before. I'm like, oh sweet, I don't know, for the best group. Oh no, what are we doing? But they've been really lovely. And so we know money's tight right now. If you can help, just an RT even helps us on Twitter. If you can help raise awareness, if you know of a charity in your area, time is just as valuable, if not more, than money in these days. So anything that you can do is really fabulous. And we have a giveaway open right now through March 30th. There's some really, really, really cool prizes to give away. So I certainly can't call everyone out by name on the stream, but a big thank you to Tabletop Crafter and Mage Hand Press for being so super generous and donating just a ton of stuff, which was amazing. So I'm really happy and I'm really excited and it'll be fun.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And we're really happy we got to let you sit down, decompress, and plug this very important cause.
Oh my God, my face hurts. I'm from laughing so hard. It's like,
yeah, that's a symptom of our podcast.
What a problem to have.
Like 2 minutes to realize that I had been talking to you over Twitter the last like 3 days.
Yep.
Then I got really, really excited. So,
I'm into it. Awesome.
All right. Thanks you everyone for listening. Thank you, Halli, for being on.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully
it's great to have you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back with another 3DM sometime very soon. Love you guys. And